experience at the 68 session of the Commission of Status of Women that is happening in New York, in UN, New York, for those 2 weeks. And from today, our agenda is for people who are attending both in person or virtually to share the experience of the first week of CSW. I think I may invite Kent and Francisco to say some words.
Okay, I can start. Hello, everybody. Nice to see faces and especially the virtual participants in CSW because we're trying to keep expanding our Servas participation, and doing it virtually is a marvelous way to do it. So I'm going to be brief, but you may know and fully appreciate after 1 week of CSW that there are really 3 main components of CSW. So there are the official meetings of 45 countries that are part of the 193 countries that belong to the United Nations. And those 45 countries are meeting every day this week and next week in order to come up with an agreement that's called the Agreed Conclusions. And this is to be the action plan for the United Nations and its member countries for the year ahead and beyond on the priority theme. And the priority theme this year is women and poverty, as you know. So one of the key things that's happening right now this week, the week that just ended, and this coming week, is that these 45 countries are meeting every day to work out this agreed conclusion. By next Friday, March the 22nd, is when they hopefully sign off in time for their action plan, basically. And then after that, it's a matter of each country implementing that plan, putting it into practice. So that's the first of the 3 pieces of CSW. The second of the 3 pieces are known as side events. And these also take place on the UN grounds, and they are meant by which member countries of the UN and UN agencies like UN Women, UN Development Fund, Development Program, UNICEF, and so on, they can demonstrate and talk about the type of activities that they're currently doing to promote gender equality. So those tend to be events that people can attend for anywhere from 1 hour to 2 hours in length. And they are also live streamed on UN TV. I believe you can also watch the podcasts of them afterwards if you can't watch them in real time. And the third main area of activity these 2 weeks is the NGO CSW forum that all of you by now will be familiar with. This is largely for non-governmental organizations like Servas. So around the world, people have come to New York representing non-governmental organizations, huge numbers of people. I think there were over 10,000 people who applied from NGOs to attend CSW in person. the forum events happen not on the UN grounds, but near the UN grounds if they're in person, or they're offered virtually. And this is where the virtual participation of Servas members comes in. So those of you who are actively registering for Zooms, it's all through the NGO CSW forum. Yeah. So, and just on that, of course, we're delighted that Servas is offering 3 of those parallel events. One of them happens right after this meeting. It starts at 10:30 a.m. New York time, and that's being offered by Servas Taiwan. And then there's the second one is offered on Monday, and that's being offered by Rachel Elian Baird, who's in on this call. And Rachel has done an amazing job this week in planning events here in New York for Servas members. And the third thing is the third parallel event is on Tuesday, and that's being offered by Servas India and Servas Mexico. And again, so it's about the nomadic women of India, of Rajasthan state in India, and the indigenous women in Mexico. A joint effort there, and that's been headed up by Hamsa Singh of India and Lily Quereques of Mexico. So anyway, so I'll stop there. The other thing, one more thing. It'll be really important for us not to view these 2 weeks as over and done with when they conclude. We need to be able to carry forward the information and the experiences that we have into other Servas members, other Servas member meetings, and maybe even beyond. Now, next week, we'll have another Zoom on Saturday, and that we'll talk more about how we can do that. But please, in the meantime, give some thought about what sort of activities you could see yourself doing to carry this information forward to other people, share them with Servas members, and so on. So please start that process in the meantime, and we'll get into it in greater detail next Saturday. I'll stop there now for sure, and I'll turn it over to Francisco just for a word.
Thank you, Kent. Hi, everybody. Also, very briefly, I think that Ken mentioned the most important things. I just want to also comment that we are very thankful with all the participants and all the organizing team because they make a very well work. This event, it's so important because also strengthens the relationship between Servas members in this area and with the participants. This is something very important to comment. The second is that we were talking in the earlier in the morning that we would like to make a questionnaire in order to know how we can improve this experience for the next year for the members that will come next year, how to make it even better. And the third one, as Ken mentioned, we would like to encourage you to participate in the next Servas local meeting in your country and share the experience. Even further, if you have the possibility to participate in a regional or international Servas meeting, try to be there and ask to be able to make a presentation with pictures, with some information, and also try to share these kind of events that can motivate other Servas to be more willing to participate. And finally, I want to conclude that this kind of events and any kind of event where we can participate, we are Servas ambassadors. So we have to know more about Servas in order to make a presentation and introduce the organization to other persons that also work or make voluntary job in organization that also might have peace as a mission. We have to know the history of Servas, what we do. It's not just traveling and hosting. We are so big and so interesting organization that we can invite more persons to join. I just wanted to mention this and also give May time to comment about this.
And may I have others first to talk, because in my place, now I'm in Boston, and my host is talking to his son. So it's maybe not the voice, maybe have some interrupt. So may I have some others to talk first, then I come back.
Okay. Thank you, May. We waiting. We can see that you are with a lady by your side. So who wants to share the experience of the first week of CSW? Okay, I can see Aruta, hands up. Please, Aruta. Unmute you, please.
Hello, am I audible? Hello?
Hello.
Okay. Okay, thank you. A very good morning to you, my Servasian family and friends. I'm glad to put across some my brief extempore reflections of CSW68. So far, first of all, I express my sincere thanks and gratitude to this great organization, Servas, because I got this wonderful opportunity to attend CSW68 in person. I consider myself extremely lucky, blessed, and really honored to have been able to attend it. It has been a fantastically informative experience to hear about the status of and the approach to the gender equality from so many stalwarts and the champions of women issues. The basic thinkers and the experienced volunteers engage in the field of women empowerment from across the globe. Up till now, I had only imagined how wonderful the CSW experience is going to be through some newspaper articles I had read, and also from the preparatory mails that received. But after actually attending it, I realized the full dimension and magnitude of the insight and information one gathers here. The UN CSW68 official meetings, their various side events, the NGO forum in person, parallel events, virtual events, the festival of socially relevant films, the Armenian Artisans Fair, gatherings of Servas members, the walks, visit to New York Library, ride to Staten Island, the dinners, the lunches, wow, a lot many things to do, to learn and share. Too many choices for the given time limitation. And I felt the dilemma of a child in a toy shop who is asked to choose only few toys in a short time. There is no doubt that each and every session had very valuable inputs for the attendees. Having worked as a sub-editor in a local daily, I had opportunity of associating with some NGO workers engaged in women issues. But I realized how ignorant I was about the commonality and the universality versus the individuality of the issue, their magnitude and the effects, the aspect, equality amongst equal, etc., etc. I heard the hard-hitting but eye-opening factual statements like comprehending what is at stake, acknowledging I see you, etc., related to social recognition and acceptance issues pertaining to women, or statements like globally women eat less and eat last. The women are paying the first and highest price. Always, poverty affects men and women differently. The money speaks. The funding, the budget is the true taste, a highest expression of the policy. The discrimination, not only at workplace, but also within a family, need for true global and granular democracy at every level, and many other such thoughts. They are now permanently attached on my mind. The multiple dimensions of gender equality that were unfolded by various speakers have certainly given a wider perspective of the issues concerning women. The importance of amplifying the marginalized voices of women, the ways and the means for acceleration of achievement of goal of gender equality, and relevance of empowerment of women by doing budgeting, provisioning, and financing with a gender perspective, etc., are all the areas of newer meaning for me now. I have gained some insights into the role of CSW and inter alia. The central role of United Nations entity UN Women in promoting gender equality and the empowerment, its mechanism mobilizing the civil society, include the employers and all stakeholders for effective and accelerated implementation of the Beijing Declaration for Sustainable Development, the empowerment of women, financing, etc. To epitomize, I can state it that the CSW68 has been an immensely informative and thought-provoking platform that certainly sensitizes and surely equips one in better understanding of the women's issues and encourages all to contribute in the field of women empowerment. I hope to make best use of the knowledge gained by actively associating with various social organizations back at my place. I stop here. My best wishes to Mei Wang for her presentation, which we are already eager looking forward to see. Thanks, Servas, and thanks all of you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I can see Rachel hands up. Please, Rachel.
Hi, Avani. Thank you, Amruta. And Amruta is one of our delegates who are on the ground for 2 weeks. which is really exciting that we have representation for the second week. I noticed this year, there's more on in the second week, and there's more interactive meetings where we can sit in and comment and ask questions. So thank you, Amruta, for representing Servas in our second week. Hopefully,
Thank you. Thank you.
and the New York reps and Gala, one of our youth forum, is also going to be there the second week. Is Gala on the call? Let me see. Yes. Hi, Gala. Shout out. Gala got into the Security Council meeting the other day. She's a rock star. Hi. Good morning. So I have, being the on the ground ops organizer this year, I had conversations with everyone and a lot of great feedback, really inspiring ideas about how to go forward and have our voice heard more as an organization, maybe what is needed for the delegates in preparation for CSW. So we'll be going over all that as a group in the months to come, trying to organize for our next CSW. But personally, this is my second time attending CSW. And the tone this year was very different. So I want to talk about two things. One was I was at the town hall meeting with the Secretary General, and I really like him. He's very honest. He's willing to say, I don't know. He's straight up. But how he ended the meeting was disturbing to me as a peacemaker, because this whole phrase of pushback against the pushback, and then he said, take no prisoners, which is a term of war. It's about annihilating your enemies. And it was just an indication of how deeply, even with an ally like him, this patriarchal point of view is so ingrained. And what was really inspiring this year that I didn't hear last year at all, that I heard multiple times in almost every event I was at, is women are saying, we're not going to try to make a space at a table that was not made for us. We're making our own table now. And it's generating a humanistic table going forward, an inclusive vision. And just hearing the languaging, to me, I'm a writer, so the words that we choose are super important. And I heard envisioning resilience over and over, and languaging vision and planned action completely out of the patriarchal paradigm, that we're going to take the world forward, everyone, into a humanistic vision that is good for everyone. And it's a round table. It's not this top-down structure. And I saw it acting out in some of the events I was in, particularly the Indigenous events. It was much more of a circular model, interactive. And this is frankly what I've been personally waiting for. This is a revolution of the heart. I was really excited to see it at CSW this year. Really inspiring. So it's happening, everyone. So that's what I had to share in terms of my personal experience. There's a lot, but I know there are many people that need to speak. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Who is next? No hands?
Yes, can I go? Oops.
Please, yes, please, Jenny.
I don't know how to raise the hand on here, sorry. Okay, this was, first of all, sorry, I don't have my name under my picture here. So my name is Jean Devine, for those who I don't know yet. And I come from Arizona. I have been a member of Servas since 1995. I learned about the presence of Servas at the UN at the first national conference that I went to. So Joanne, I want you to hear that, because you never know what somebody learns at a national conference might magnify to become something so much more for any of us. So I learned, let's see, I jotted down a few notes here. First, this is my first time to attend CSW 68. and except that I have attended virtually 3 other times. So I was fairly familiar with what kinds of things would be talked about. But I am sorry to say I haven't yet learned the technology, so it took me a while to shift between. I have never used WhatsApp until this week, and I'm getting like so many messages from WhatsApp, and it takes a while to learn that. But that's okay. Oh, first, so the meeting coming together for me, the most important part of this whole week is the meeting of other Servas members coming together here in New York, and people from all around the world, some of whom I knew before, some of whom I didn't, and just the camaraderie, the dedication, and the dedication to the mission of Servas, and to peace. So the second thing I want to say is that it was so exhilarating to attend sessions by UN representatives, by many NGOs on a wide range of issues. It's amazing. So many things that we don't think about until we attend a conference like this. It greatly broadened for me, and I know for others, it greatly broadened our knowledge of gender equality. So many different issues that I had not even reflected on, and the importance of changing norms in unions and in employment and in any kind of a group, and especially in government and in business. So we have a long ways to go, but being here is a first step in bringing many people together. Just greatly broadened knowledge of gender equality. Then I want to make sure Angelica hears this one. So I went to lunch one day in the Café de Pai, which is on the 4th floor of the UN, and a woman signaled she was at a small table. It was very crowded. She said I could sit at her table, and I told her I was from Servas International, and she said, "Oh, I know Servas." And I said, "Really?" And she said she knows Angelica Hoffman. So I was like, oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So that's just great. I'm going to send that information to Angelica. So you know Evelyn, and she said she works with you all the time. So that was just what can happen at a conference like this. We can meet people from within our own organization and people from many other places. I also met a woman in a conference who lives my family lives in New York, and so I come here usually twice a year. So I met a woman who lives about 6 blocks away from here, and I will contact her next time I come. And she's very interested in Servas. She's traveled a lot. She's an African-American woman and has traveled many times, really interested. So, making contacts with people who are not currently members, but maybe in the future. And the last thing I want to say is that I cannot underestimate the appreciation that I have for Kent and his organization of this, for May, who I'm so happy to meet May for the first time. It's quite different in person than it is just online. And I so appreciate all of her input, Francisco and Rachel. So those 4 especially, but everybody who was there. But it has just been a great experience, and it's been thanks to those people who have worked so hard. I think you also, Albany, but I haven't worked with you directly. I think it's just been their coming together, their creation of this event for Servas is just an incredible success. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Dini,
you in your own countries, maybe.
For your input. It's a very opportunity to get to know people that we in person, that we see only online, and then also to spread the word of Servas. Is a good opportunity to tell about Servas. I think the next one is Paul Flynn from UK. Please, Pam. Sorry.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, good. I'm participating virtually throughout this conference, and I was involved back in 1995 at the UN Conference on Women in Beijing. And I've been a member of Servas probably for about 10 years. And I'm greatly appreciative of the fact that Servas is investing its members' time in helping debate move forward at the NGO CSW Forum and taking note of what's going on in amid the member countries, the people who are debating towards hopefully some kind of agreed conclusion. Obviously, as somebody participating entirely virtually, you end up fitting workshops and Zoom meetings into the rest of your life. You're not in New York away from the rest of your life. But I've been to 2 online meetings. One was about education, the role of education and play in the development of girls and young women. And the second one was about combating violence against women and girls. Both were really interesting. They were organized by the CSW Forum, and they had a good spread of international contributors. The second one, the one about violence, I'm going to pick up on what Jean just said about the Servas mission and the dedication to peace, because issues of conflict in Europe, in Ukraine, and obviously in the Middle East with Gaza came up repeatedly in the second online meeting that I attended. And there was, it's an interesting issue because there was no, from lay people, there was, people would, for example, want to draw attention to sexual violence against women committed by Hamas back in October 2023, and then others would be wanting to draw attention to the ongoing actions of the Israeli state in Gaza. And so the issues that divide us in the world were brought into that forum without resolution, just there. And it will be interesting to see what, if anything, the agreed conclusions are at the end of next week, because the importance of involving women in peacemaking has been noted on the agenda since 1995, and also the importance of ending violence against women and girls. It's in the Beijing Declaration. So I don't have any resolution to these issues, but it's very interesting to go on to an international event with a lot of people there and see this debate ongoing. I'll just touch briefly as well on what we are proposing to do here in Manchester. We're part of the Greater Manchester region, and there are other people Servas members living up in Lancashire. And in early June, we are going to have a peace walk and a social. A peace walk is led by one of our Servas members who has developed a walk around landmarks in the city of Manchester to draw attention to peace. We have a peace garden here. So we will be discussing in June feedback from the forum, and I'll be sharing. I'm taking careful note of contributors' names here and the countries that they're from, because I think for your everyday Servas member, it's very important to feel that you are part of a bigger peace-oriented organization. And my final contribution will be to tell you that one of our members here, Hazel Roy, is currently in Japan, taking a peace song to Tokyo and to Nagasaki and to Hiroshima as well. So we will be able to feed that and her experience in Japan, carrying the voices of children and young people from Manchester.
And old people.
And go away. So that's my final contribution. This is my partner, Lydia. I shouldn't say go away. She's correcting me here. It's an intergenerational activity that Hazel is undertaking, and it fits right in with the themes of the forum. One difficulty that I would just draw attention to, having appreciated Kent's involvement, it is extremely difficult, really, to be working across time zones and trying to make sense of what's on. And it's been particularly helpful to receive the mailings from Kent and from the forum itself, the forum secretariat, reminding us what's on and how we can participate and how we can see it all on YouTube if we want to. So thank you, and thank you for listening.
Thank you, Pam, for your contribution. So we are happy to learn that you were in the 1995 conference in Beijing. Great.
Yes.
Okay, so now is Danny from Bolivia.
Hello, everybody. I'm sorry I won't turn on the camera, but my internet is not doing so well. Just to say a brief hi. Part of the assembly, it was just a remarkable experience for me. I learned so much about women's reality in so many countries, and I was impressed to see how women at the same time are working toward getting this world better. We women are a big part of the financial, economical, and social improvement of this world. And what I saw here in the United Nations is so impressively women working toward getting a better world where women could be recognized as the real force of change. There is a lot to do, and I think that for those things to do, we are here. Servas has to be still stronger in the voice of spreading that equality and recognition of women's work should be really understood by everybody. Once more, it was a pleasure to meet everybody. I just take home with me lots of experiences. New York is not what people usually say, that New Yorkers are rough. No, New York is just a city of very warm, welcoming, helping people. And the United Nations, in which 45 countries were represented, I think is just the union of all of us human beings without having borders. Thank you very much once more.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dani. Muchas gracias. Chiara, please. What's
Morning. Yes, I hope you can hear me. I have to admit, I'm really tired. A week here has been exhausting and exhilarating. I think everybody who has been here can say that we want to sleep more. So I will, that I didn't plan to sleep more when I started. So that's something I learned, that you spend a lot of time networking and it takes a lot of energy. But what I wanted to say is, I've talked a lot with people about Servas, and they were really excited about the idea, what we are doing, about building connection just by traveling, hosting, getting to know each other, talking, like this very humane and very easy thing to do. So they were like very excited about the possibility to change something, doing something so easily and so on the ground and grassroots actually. So I talked with a few people and they were very excited. But they were also interested what we are doing in the UN and what we're doing to do more political work, defending human rights, and bringing that more into our peace work. And I think that's something we can work more into, I think, to talk more about women's rights and how human rights work are so important in peace work, to put this more into perspective. For me, this has been an incredible week. I've learned so much. And I think what has been really interesting was seeing how so many women work together and how they're really working on demolishing or deconstructing colonial systems and working on a future that includes human rights, women's rights, and working on a sustainable future, and how they all play together. Like how a world who is ready for the changes in climate that will come upon us in the future will be more handleable or more brighter and more livable with a feminist perspective and more humane perspective. So I really enjoyed this. And I also wanted to mention that there have been so many incredible women, from very old to very young, from all different kinds of countries, that have just been exhilarating, and their resilience and their faith in the work they do and the possibility of something better has been really amazing. And I hope that those who have been online could have had these conversations, and I hope you really just texted people. I noticed that we are shy of like just introducing ourselves, and I wanted to just motivate also the people online to just text people, even if you don't know them, if they said something interesting, to just stay connected. People really appreciate it, just if you say that you liked it. So yeah, it's something we, as Austrian, we don't do as much. So I noticed that I have those walls, but I wanted to just send that out. And yeah, I give it to Gala.
Hi,
Okay.
good morning.
Buenos
Thank
dias,
you,
Dana.
Chiara. Buenos dias. Thank you, Chiara. Well, it was a very nice experience. Well, it was a very intense experience, like very emotionally, and attending to all these side events or panels or so, and listening to histories, and some things I personally thought there were not going on in the world. Like it was something from the past, and you realize it's still going on. It's very hard. So yeah, I want to thank you everyone for the organization. Kent, thank you so much. Rachel, and I think it was a little bit difficult for me to explain what Servas was about when the person who was I explaining was in an organization to help women in Congo or help women in forced marriage, and such powerful organization. And I was like, well, I'm in a peace organization that makes peace through travel. And I always brought like the peace schools, and so well, it's kind of difficult. I think we have a commitment with society, and I think personally, we are not going through the 100% of our commitment with society. Like, we can do better, we can do more as an organization. And yeah, that's something I think we should work out. Also, I was very sad because I didn't see a lot of side events or panels from South America. I didn't see a lot of people from South America, actually from Chile. I only saw one girl, one diplomatic woman. And yeah, but it was a very, very nice and interesting event, like being in the UN, and I got the opportunity to be in the second floor where the Secretary Assembly was. And it was a great opportunity. But I think as an organization, we could do more and we could do better. Always. It's not like we're not doing good, but it's always can be better. And like we're a peace organization, but I think we all agree that peace, it's a word, and how peace is depends on each other. Like, it depends on your own history. So peace is a very controversial thing. It's a very, I don't know how to say it. It's a very big word. So yeah, it's difficult to say what is peace and what's not, especially nowadays with so many cultures and histories and so many things going on. So yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Gala. Muchas gracias. Yeah, Servas is doing great, but we can always improve our actions, right? Luísa from Brazil. Bom dia, Luísa.
Bom dia. Good morning. So for me, it's a big experience. And it's a big experience. It's my first time in United States and United Nations and many things. And my first time in CSW. And I agree with all the women, with the Danny, Chiara, and Gala that said about the powerful to see many women together fighting for rights. And I try to be in the sessions about third world, and I could be. And I was in the session about Kenyan, and they are they are talking about distribution of the care work, about the construction of the participation of the women in the labor market. And they are always question, what is the budget, what's the money for women to invest in the policies. And for me, another thing that was very heavy is to be in sessions about Gaza and about the Palestine people, and we could see things about the that they need water, they need food, they need medicine, and now they can't. They are just trying to live, and many things. I think I agree with Gala that it's difficult to think about peace because it includes many things. Include to be alive, include to have human rights, and I think with a group with humans, we can think more about how to think about peace as a social justice, and to think about peace with gender framework. And I think with this, in this moment, we have a lot of time to think about this in the future too. And I hope that we can do this together. And I'm so grateful, so thankful. So I need to say thank you for everybody who helped me to be here, and this this is my thing. Thanks so much for everything, and I hope that we can talk more about these issues together.
Obrigada, Luisa. Thank you very,
Obrigada.
thank you very much. Enjoy your time in New York at CSW. Who is next? Maybe May? Are you available now, May?
Yes. Hello, and this is May, and this is my host in Boston, Judith. Judith, yes. She has been Servas member for
30 years.
30 years?
Maybe.
30
Yeah.
years, okay. And okay, I share my experience. First of all, I feel, yes, I inspire a lot. This is my first time to join CSW. And I found in this huge, big meeting, conference, a lot of countries representatives, they just talk what they have done in their countries. But to me, the more interesting and more inspiring is some countries will raise their problems, questions, and then they will get the answers from the world. This is I found it's the most interesting ones. For example, there's one country from Latin America, and the lady say now the rate in their government, in parliament, the female rate is about 40% or 50%, but in their society, the gender bias violence still happened very often, and she doesn't understand why. Then there's a lady from Africa, I think it's Ghana, and she said, please make sure who you elected, they promise they will do something for women. Before the election, they must promise this. Or even the ladies, the women are elected, it's useless. So you must make sure this and then vote for this person, this lady, or it's useless. So I hear something about this. When participants, they give the questions, they will get answers, very good answer and good points from the world. That's I found very impressed in this meeting, and it's a very good platform to exchange ideas. Yes, that's what I learned. And then one thing I want to share with everyone, especially Simi and Paranek from Iran. I actually almost can get the ground pass to UN. The first, before the meeting starts, before the meeting started, I tried to get the ground pass. You know, on the internet, we already apply and get the permission. And then we just have to go to the office to get the ground pass to the UN. But when after a long queue, about 2 hours, I finally can get into the office. I show the Taiwan passport to the staff of UN, and then they say no, because Taiwan's passport, because Taiwan is not UN member state, so this passport is not recognized. So do you have other country, UN member country, state issued ID? How can I have that from other countries? Then they say, oh no, so we cannot give you the ground pass. So I'm thinking, how can I do? I fly from Taiwan to New York and spend 14 hours here, and then I cannot get into the UN. But I said, hey, but you give me the permission on the internet. I already told you I'm from Taiwan. You give me permission. If you don't think it's okay, you should reject me at that time, not now. Then the staff, he said, I know you feel frustrated, but it's a rule. Okay, so I said, let me think about this and try to find help from my team. So I give the message to Taiwanese team for the CSW. And then someone said, oh, you can give them, do you have the international license, driving license, or American big shop membership cards? It's useless. For example, international driving license, if I have that, which is also authorized, issued by Taiwanese government, they don't recognize. So anyway, finally, I found another way. With my passport, I usually bring another one, another ID card, which is issued by Chinese government. We don't use it only when we travel to China or to transit in China. We use this card, but now okay, it works. I show them this card, and then they talk each other, and then feel okay. It should be okay. So I got the Grand Pass. So I want to say, first of all, I want to thank you, Servas, to let me can join United Nations conference. Before I joined this meeting, I met with my previous colleague, who is the chief editor of the local Chinese newspaper, chief editor. And then he said, I bet you cannot get into UN. Because they knew it's difficult if you just have Taiwan passport, it's difficult to get into the UN. But finally, I get into. So thank you so much. I appreciate this a lot to Servas. It's because of Servas, so I got this chance to be here. And secondly, I want to encourage Sumi and Farhan Rank from Iran. Never give up. They cannot
Zaro is.
They cannot get a visa from the USA, but I believe one day you can come in.
Thank you.
So never give up.
Yes.
And finally, I will suggest, because later, in half an hour, we will have our Servas first parallel meeting this time for NGO CSW. So I would like to suggest that we finish our meeting before that, maybe 10 minutes earlier, of this meeting, so all of us can be ready to join this important meeting to us. Thank you so much.
Thank you, May. Thank you for your help with the Zoom meeting, with the Servas representative. I was curious, May, to learn how to get your visa to US, being from Taiwan. So I'm glad in the end it worked out. I hope next Zara and Faranak will be there. I think Karen.
Yeah, can I say something really quick? I'm sorry, I'm in Port Authority. It's really loud. But I am Karen Morian. I'm the U.S. Peace Secretary. Can you hear me okay? Thumbs up? Yes? Okay. And I was tasked by our board when I was brought on board last year to do better and do more. And so I spent my week networking because I'm building out our capacity as a roadmap to volunteer opportunities where our members can go out in the world and do good while they travel. And so I think that will attract, I think that will be a very positive thing for younger members, because I did a lot of volunteering when I was young, and those possibilities just don't exist in the same way they used to. The second thing is the way I talked to an activist from Congo who's working on a water issue. What Servas is a network of like-minded peace people. And one of the ways that we support all of these movements is to provide a safe space for them to stay when they travel, even if it's to a conference or a meeting, and not just for fun travel. And so that's how I'm now thinking of Servas. That is our movement work. We are helping people to network by traveling to various events. So I'll sign off. Thank you. I'll be around next week and I'll have some more to say after that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Karen. So who is next? I think it's Kate Thomas from Australia. Hello, Kate. Unmute, please. Okay.
You're muted, Kate. We can't hear you. The mute button should be on the lower left hand of your computer screen.
She's not mute, Rachel.
Yeah.
She's mute. So as May while Kate is fixing her mic. So as May has point out, the Servas Taiwan meeting started, I think, in 15 minutes, 25 minutes. So let's be prepared to take a break before it and attend the Servas Taiwan meeting. Kate, you are mute now. Please unmute.
Can I have everyone, if you are here, you turn on your camera so we can take a group photo. We actually have 22 here.
Right now, yeah, it is.
Yeah.
So open your camera if you are comfortable with that for a group screenshot.
I don't know if you can get them all in one place.
Allison, Yerlan, Helga.
David,
say now. The best smile to the world. Okay, done. Yes.
Thank you very much, May. So we are talking about to share our meeting and Servas in the social medium. Okay, I think, does anyone want to share the experience?
Sorry, I just have a question. Who is online and who is in person there? Who is virtual there?
Who is asking? Angelica?
Yeah.
Angelica. So
you mean who was in person at the CSW this week?
Yeah, or the other way around. Who is virtual? You are virtual.
So raise your hand.
Virtual. Paranak is virtual. Shirish is virtual. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Angelica.
I am virtual too.
Okay. So are you in Vienna, right?
Yeah.
So if no one wants to talk, I think I may ask Kent for the final.
Pam from UK want to talk?
Okay, Pam.
No, I raised my hand just for Angelica to say that I was virtual. I don't need to say any more. Thank you.
And Simi want to talk?
Sorry, just a few seconds. I should turn on the light because it's getting dark here.
Oh, she couldn't come, huh?
Kate, if you try to join the meeting on your phone, it may give you sound. If you're having problems with your computer, you might be able to talk to us via
back.
your
I
phone.
should thank first.
Yes,
oh,
yes, we
sorry.
can.
So
Kate's on too.
She on now?
Yeah, I'm here.
Kate can talk now.
Oh, well, I have pages and pages, so you probably don't want me to. I will be quick. I just want to say a very enormous thank you to Kent and to Rachel and to everybody who made this all possible. If I say a whole lot more about it, I will cry, so I won't. But thank you. I'll get myself together. It was incredible to have been, felt like I was sort of awake finally, having been a rampant feminist all my life. To be amongst women who were actually making it happen was pretty incredible. And I want to be a part of that because I didn't grow up thinking that there was any difference between men and women. I thought we could do all the same things. And wasn't until actually probably I hit Australia in my 30s that I realized that there are doors that are closed to us. And this experience has just solidified that for me and made me probably that much more committed to the cause. It was a real privilege to be amongst some of those women. So it's impossible to encapsulate the week, but I would like to say that I've been working with Aboriginal people in Australia for the last year, and I was a little bit horrified to see so few Aboriginal peoples from any country recognized or represented at the event. I was really excited to have the experience with the Secretary General and to hear him speak. And his frankness was wonderful. I felt as if I was sitting in his living room. I can't read my notes because I'm crying, so that's useful. I do think that one of the moments I had was when one of the men, actually, incidentally, from Uganda, talked about what they've done with their parliament, because I totally agree that we need to change the architecture of our everything, our lives, really. And he spoke about how they don't have geographical representation for their parliament. So you're not elected as a member of this area or that area. You're elected because you're one of the 5 people representing trade unions, or you're one of the 5 people representing the disabled, or you're one of the 5 people representing youth. And they do have a few geographically elected people, but the way that they structure their parliament is much more honestly representative. And I thought that was a really simple thing that more of us could embrace around the world, especially within the Commonwealth, where we work with a parliamentary system. And I really enjoyed listening yesterday to some very high-level discussions about how we could restructure care work and how we could revalue care work. But it led me to think about Louisa's question about defining peace. And I think perhaps it's as simple as peace is the opposite of the way we mostly operate our Western societies, where everything has to be measured and is often valued in dollars or hours or property or whatever it is that you have. And peace is actually diametrically opposed to that. And I think all of us would probably agree. Peace is a state of being or a state of living rather than something you can measure. And I suppose that's the biggest thing that I've taken away. So thank you, everybody, for making this all possible. It's been a privilege.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much, Kate. I think the next is there is Helga, and I will find it. Go ahead, Helga.
Okay, thank you. I just have a question. I know that the week of officially being there in person is over, and I wonder who is staying on. Who will be in person in New York during the second week?
There's Amruta and Gala, I know, and I'm assuming that the UN reps, the majority of them, because they live in the area, will still be.
Maybe we can do the same again with fingers up or hand up. Thank you.
I'll be here Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
And then attend virtually Thursday and Friday.
Okay, thank you. Just for knowing who to connect with.
So now I'm hosting Claire from France. She wants to say hi to everybody. She was in Chicago. Remember her?
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. And I'm happy to be at Albany's house. I'm here in Brazil to work with communities and especially women. I was in Colombia for a voluntary project, and I am taking the most of my time here in America Latina to go to Brazil and visit Albany and other Servas members to get involved in community projects with women and teenagers. So it's very interesting. I could not participate to all of the events of the ONU Women, but I'm here to work with the people in the field. So it's very good for me. And there are lots of great initiatives in the field that are done here by women, by young people, by men también also. So it's very good to travel and see directly what is done on the field. So I thank Albany also because she made me, she put me in relation with great women here in Brazil that are doing an amazing work for some women that are maybe in social exclusion risk. And so I could meet, for example, a psychologist that is giving her free time to help these women. So when you see this kind of initiatives. It makes you faithful about the future. And I hope that we can help more initiatives like this in the future. I work in international cooperation, so I will try to do this the best I can.
Okay, thank you very much, Claire. It has been a pleasure to host you. Anyone? I think Simi from Iran has hands up.
I had my hands up, but then I thought it's close to the time. So I want to thank you all, especially Kent and all those friends who shared their real experience of, attending in person. It was really thrilling for me. The only thing I can do is advocate as much as I can. I go to this room, that room, this event. I comment on those brave women act and effort. It's the only thing I can do. And that's all. And I think I found a goal in these meetings for me, which was advocating and supporting education of Afghani women. I really want to do that, and I could find some great connections on that. I'm hopeful, and I think probably I can also participate advocating and supporting and doing something, not just advocating. Thank you, Helga. Thank you, all the youth group also supporting and suggesting meetings on the WhatsApp group. Thank you, and all the blessings. Have a good time, and all the blessing for the Taiwan Servas meeting.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Simi. So now I think it's time to close our meeting. Kent? Oh, I would like to thank you very much, Kent, Francisco, Rachel, May, and all of you that are in New York. I know as the girl said, it's very interesting, but it's very exhausted, Kent, please.
Okay, no, 2 words. Thank you, Alvini. And we can continue this discussion next Saturday on the Zoom, same time on Saturday, March the 23rd. And let's now watch the Servas Taiwan parallel event online. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thanks, Albany.
Thank
you.
So now what are we going to